This caudiciform is known as Euphorbia labatii red leaf. So it's a type of cultivated or selected variety of plants. Actually, this has lessened in the redness of this leaf. I used to grow this a little bit more closer to my southwest facing window, and it had I would say a little bit more of like a burgundy color to the leaf, and this is definitely more of a collector's plant. But I have since moved it over to my fluorescent light in my northeast facing window, but it has a fluorescent grow light over it, and it's gotten a little bit more of like this kind of darker green color. And the reason for that is I had two of these plants, and one seemed to be getting really burned, very hot, and it got a little bit of a spider mite, so it ended up like losing its leaves, which is actually not atypical to some of these caudiciforms and these euphorbia. Sometimes they will lose their leaves in more of their dormant season, and this one has actually, I think it's already lost its leaves, so I couldn't feature it earlier in the year, but I actually could feature it now. But I have to say that the red leaf form, which is a lot of times what collectors will actually get these plants for, was a little bit more, it was redder, I would have to say before, than what it is now. But you'll notice it has this kind of like very bulbous caudiciform. I don't like to have these too much in the hot light, so if you could actually get light up here and maybe not down towards the caudiciform, you're probably going to be a little bit better, but that's often kind of hard to do. And I also like the look of them because they look a little bit more like bonsais, and you could see that this one I could actually have pushed up and like make it a little bit more, in its container to have it a little bit more of an upright, but it has this like lilt or this tilt to it because it's gearing a little bit more towards the light from where I had it, and before I moved it to the fluorescent light. You also notice that I have it in this kind of like very kind of airy mixture, so I have like a little bit more of a chunky perlite. I have some little pieces of wood bark. You could actually work this in with a little bit more of a bonsai soil as well. As far as watering goes, I am a little less generous in watering this plant. You want to water it enough so it actually doesn't lose its leaves, because sometimes if it goes really into drought, then the leaves will be lost, and also could have some pest pressures, because like I said, I had spider mites on mine because I think I was growing it in really intense light. It was probably getting a little bit more stressed out. And now that I've moved this to a little bit more of a gentle light area with my grow light, it seems to be doing just fine. So if you're having a different experience with this plant in your home or your environment, please share in the comments below, because I always just find that it's so insightful to see how other people are actually growing their plants, and it provides a lot more information for viewers such as yourself. As far as fertilizing this goes, it could be very conservative on fertilizing. For me, maybe more of an annual basis and keeping with the succulent fertilizer. So like a 2-4-7 or a 3-4-7 or a 1-2-1 or a 1-2-2 or anything along those lines is going to be great. And this is native to Madagascar. I should have said that before. A lot of euphorbia are actually native to Madagascar, and these are growing in some pretty harsh conditions. So they're not accustomed to like having a lot of humidity or a lot of water or anything along those lines. So if you are somebody who likes plants that like to be neglected a little bit, then this is probably one for you.